to you, Quincy, because I know that your mother was protecting you not only from Al, which is your father and he loved you. It was for what he would have done or Puff would have done to him.
Being the son of a music mogul like Diddy might seem like a ticket to a glamorous life, but for Quincy and Christian Combs, it comes with its own set of unique challenges. One of the most notable is Diddy's bodyguard, a towering figure of muscle who resembles more of a superhero henchman than your typical security detail.
Sons might take it. Oh, that was me. Oh, Christian might take it. Christian want to be a gangster. He a gangster, right? He might take it.
Yeah, I mean, if they some real ones, they'll take it. I mean, you see everything your dad is going through right now. Why not, take that charge?
Those wasn't my dad's, those was mine. All they gonna get is a 3 to 5. 85%.
But you being somebody, right, that was cool with Diddy at one point, you don't feel a little bit bad for him?
My man, how do you feel sorry for a man that had everything material that any man could ever want? How do you feel sorry for a man could go any place any man would want to travel in the world? How do you feel sorry?
Yo, listen, do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. Alright? I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Can you reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. And this motherfucker doing it. You think sweet now, because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail. Everybody out there quiet as motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. Like all these lawsuits though, Pop. Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. But I'm money hungry.
While Diddy's extravagant lifestyle requires top-tier protection, it seems his son has found himself caught in the crosshairs of his bodyguard's unwavering duty. But why does Diddy's bodyguard make him feel like he's always walking on eggshells? Is it just the sheer intimidation factor, or is there something deeper at play? Let's dive into the situation, because there's more going on here than just the father-son dynamic. When it comes to Christian Combs, we can't overlook the elephant in the room. He's inherited a significant portion of his father's swagger and flair for controversy. While Christian enjoys the privileges of living in his father's world of luxury, he's also picked up some of Diddy's less refined traits, including a knack for making headlines, often for the wrong reasons.
Ain't a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If 2 men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do.
You've been to some crazy parties, I'm sure. What's the strangest interaction you've had at a party that was like, what's happening right now?
I remember I was lit. I just started dancing with Paris Hilton. I was like, this is kind of crazy.
That is kind of nuts. What song was playing?
I don't even know. It was one of those nights.
Yeah, okay.
Take Justin Combs, Diddy's other son, who found himself at the center of an infamous altercation at UCLA back in 2015. At the time, he was playing football when a coach reportedly gave him a harsh critique. Diddy, never one to back down, showed up with the full fury of a father who believed his son deserved better. What followed was a confrontation so intense that it ultimately resulted in Diddy being charged with misconduct.
Was you just fighting people in the club?
No, I was being a better person in the club, and I want to always be a better person, and I want to start practicing being an advocate for mentorship programs for entrepreneurs that's making money.
You just fighting in the club, yes or no? I don't want.
No, we didn't have a fight. We had a big argument right outside the club.
And who started it?
This time, I think I got loud and got aggressive, but it was the third time it's happened. And so I felt like I needed to like stand up for myself. Even though I was talking shit and we was having a lot of crazy words, I was walking that way to avoid the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. And it's unfortunate, but what's dope is that we all got on the phone. We talked for about 35 minutes.
You that.
And I'm letting you know this, brother. That's your pops. Make it good with your pops, bro. Make it good with your pops. Because you are a part of him.
How you feel about it personally?
I feel that Kim knew that he wanted to love on his son. And she kept Al away from Quincy because of Puff, and I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. Other than that, for some strange reason, Puff always want to claim something that ain't his. I just think that it's a lot of brainwashing that went on.
Now let's consider how that kind of environment impacts Quincy. Imagine knowing your dad will go to extreme lengths to defend you if someone so much as gives you a sideways glance. Add to that a bodyguard who seems expertly trained to neutralize any and all threats, and suddenly, Quincy's fear starts to make a lot more sense.
Some people feel like, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. Him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. A lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you gonna go outside your own compound where TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not gonna get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not gonna get no sympathy. You're done. Stick a in it. Call it a quit. Apologize to Big's mother for putting her son in that position.
Diddy going to jail.
I think that the easiest thing to do is to get somebody on some money laundering. Diddy have over 18 companies that he was dealing with. He put every business in his children's name or his mother's name. I don't think any of those businesses are straight into his name. So there's got to be some shadiness going on somewhere. The government wouldn't ask for all the IRS papers, all the tax papers for the last 3 years of any of his companies if they didn't think something was going on. So if he doesn't go for any of the assaults or something like that, it may be something having to do with tax evasion, money laundering, or something like that. Or maybe even drugs.
It's not just the bodyguard's physical presence that makes an impact. He represents something much deeper. He's a constant reminder of the world Quincy was born into. Unlike most of us, who worry about everyday things like losing our car keys, Quincy lives under the shadow of fame, where trust is rare, enemies are everywhere, and privacy doesn't exist. For Diddy, the bodyguard is a crucial protector of his empire. But for Quincy, it feels more like having a 24/7 chaperone who looks like he's ready to step into a boxing ring at any moment.
I think that, he brainwashed those kids, and that's what narcissists and people of his caliber do to a lot of people around him. I feel like Quincy was brainwashed. I feel like Justin, the rest of them. Justin was too. Justin's mother was real strict. Misa was real strict with Justin. I think when he got with Puff, he got brainwashed.
So what would make him do what he did to Albie Shorter? If them two was cool, why would he take his girl like that?
It's a power thing. We used to be in situations, I told you, remember me and you had the discussion about, like, he wanted every girl that Pac ever had. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds gonna take their time. May take 6 months, may take a year, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They gonna dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming up. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was walling out.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government gonna run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York. But they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, you know, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Kong's comments.
My man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see hype.
Let's not forget Christian Combs' own run-ins with controversy in recent years. He's been called out for his extravagant lifestyle, flashy cars, lavish vacations, designer everything. While Diddy's wealth makes all this possible, it's also made Christian a target for criticism. People often accuse him of riding on his dad's coattails, and some might argue that the Bodyguard's intimidating presence isn't just for Diddy, it's for Christian too. After all, a high-profile son who's known for flaunting his privilege isn't exactly someone who can fly under the radar.
The guns they found at Diddy house with no serial numbers.
I think that that's going to be hard to prove that they're his weapons. They're going to have to prove that they was his weapons because he had other grown people living in there. And plus, that house, I believe, was in a corporation name. So they're going to have to get maids, butlers, cleaning people, or somebody that's in that house to have a daily contact to say that was his room that they found those weapons in. And then the weapons wasn't operable. You had to put them together, as far as I know, for them to be operable. So he may have had weapons there, or he may not. One of his sons, he got sons. Somebody's gonna have to claim it. They just put it on him. Anything they found in the house, they just put it on him. But they had to prove that that was him. If other people were living in the house, other people had access to that room, that they found the weapons.
Christian Combs shares more with his father, Diddy, than just the bling. Like his dad, he has a knack for stirring the pot, whether it's flaunting his lifestyle on social media or getting caught up in public controversies. It seems the Combs family drama runs in their DNA, but here's where it gets even more intriguing. Diddy's bodyguard isn't just a protector from external threats. He's also there to keep the family in check. For someone like Christian, who thrives on living large and making bold statements, having a bodyguard doubling as a no-nonsense enforcer might feel less like security and more like suffocation.
Now is being sued for assault, and the alleged victim claims she has audio recordings of him forcing himself on her during a yacht party.
Actually,
did you check that out?
Yeah, I was listening to, if you don't mind me saying, Tis Tales. And she said that she was going through the whole lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, it stated that he was recording a song. And the guy, Little Rob, had it in the recording that the girl was actually fighting him off her, and he was trying to make her drink some tequila, and she said, "What's in it? Is anything in it?" And he was trying to fondle on her or whatever like that during the time. And Lil Rob picked that up at the recording. So she's a part of the lawsuit.
Let's talk about that intimidation factor. Diddy's bodyguard isn't just physically imposing, he's a presence. Whether he's standing in the corner of a party or walking through a crowd, he carries an energy that says, "Don't even think about it." For Christian, who's trying to carve out his own identity while living under his dad's colossal shadow, this kind of presence can feel less like protection and more like a constant reminder that every move he makes is being watched, and not just by the paparazzi.
Father like son. You heard me?
Bro, that's so. Oh my God! Yes, I heard you, man.
That's wrong, huh?
Man, bro. Sheesh, man. I mean, gosh.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. I mean, you know, she's alleging that she had to fight him off several times. You know, and she suspected that the tequila was spiked.
Right.
A lot of lawsuits. Do you suspect more lawsuits are coming?
Well, see, the thing about it is, what people don't understand is that there's people that have stuff on Diddy from way back that lawyers would not fight it or take it. But now Cassie opened up those doors. I heard that it's a guy that's going way back and say that he put on a Sean John shirt and he tried to molest him. So he's taking his...
Even in seemingly normal moments, the bodyguard's presence creates tension. Imagine Christian bringing friends over, only for them to be greeted by a man who looks like he's trained for the apocalypse. Or picture him trying to enjoy a night out, only to have the bodyguard silently scanning the room as if expecting a coup. For someone already navigating the pressures of fame and family legacy, this level of constant scrutiny can feel downright oppressive.
When Puffy was taking phones, that showed me right there he didn't trust Q. Because he said, "Nigga, I know you got 2 phones. Give me your second phone as well." That's somebody you don't trust when you call them out like that. You call your own son out to be like, "Where's your second phone? You got 2 phones. Give me that. You ain't taking that second phone to this."
And we can't forget the father-son dynamic at play here. Diddy is known for running his empire with precision and control, and it's clear he expects the same from his kids. The bodyguard isn't just there to keep physical threats at bay. He's also a symbol of Diddy's expectations, discipline, loyalty, and the ability to handle the immense pressure of being a Combs. For Quincy, who's no stranger to enjoying the high life and occasionally stepping out of line, this must feel like living under a microscope 24/7.
So now, they gotta understand their daddy is fighting for his life. And it's better to fight for your life on the streets than it is behind bars. And so everything that they're doing right now is jeopardizing their daddy's freedom, if they really care about him. I kind of wonder if they really care about him, because I have seen some articles recently online where it appears that the one that waxed in that they saw with a that likes to fuck on transgenders and all of that, Christian, is trying to fight the mother now over some, say over who's in charge of making the decisions, which is funny, which I think is just somebody that wanted to write an article, because Puffy is still have the ability to do that. Now, the good thing about it, if Puffy was on life support or something like that, then that may be an issue. Puffy is still able to talk and make those decisions, which I think he better get in line real quick and decide who he's going to have in charge. Because you don't want your 80-something-year-old mother, y'all would say, is an 80-something-year-old auntie, but hey, if he called her his mama, that's his mama. I don't even know why y'all even.
So, is Quincy truly terrified of the bodyguard? Maybe not in the traditional sense, but it's clear that the bodyguard represents more than just physical protection. He's a symbol of Diddy's power, control, and the impossible standards that come with being part of one of the most famous families in the world. For Quincy, that's a lot to live up to, and a lot to live with.